my girlfriends and I have had this talk many times. Like, would you definitely leave your husband or your boyfriend if you found out he was cheating on you?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get into, well, is it a one-off or is it like a full-blown affair with somebody else?
Yeah.
And honestly, most of the women I know have the same answer to both, which is, no, I would not leave him.
But also they have children, right?
Yeah.
That changes the entire game.
Yeah.
It's also like, ugh. But yeah, this is good. Wait a minute. So we can cheat? Is that what you're
literally
trying to
every
say?
friend of Doug's right now is texting him, hall pass. Hall pass. No.
We're going to Colombia, Doug.
Not saying that.
Oh, whoopsie.
It's just, like that's a, oh.
You know what? I'm curious your take on this. Like, I was talking to some of the women that work with me, and there's this prominence in when we're talking about relationships now, like talking about like red flags and ick culture. Have you heard about this?
No, I must be too old.
Okay, so like a lot of women talk about like red flags and icks they have with men, like little things that they do that annoy them.
Okay.
And it could be something like small, like if it's raining and a guy lifts his shoulders, I don't like that. It like really turns me off to him.
That's
like,
tough.
Yeah, exactly. So, and like they're really like nuanced and specific. And I was like, I was asking him like, what do you think that's about? And this is my suspicion. I think that like there's so much pressure for women to be with somebody that they maybe would rather be with somebody they don't really like than be alone. Like their moms are constantly going, hey, you got to get married. You got to have someone. And then you're with someone you don't like.
Oh, God.
And when you're around someone you don't like, everything about them annoys you.
No, you can't have that. No, and then you're going to let them get on top of you?
Never.
No.
Never.
How could you?
But if you really love someone, like you said, they can go to Colombia with the boys.
It has the opposite effect. It's like nothing bothers me.
Nothing at all.
It's all really cute.
Yeah.
It's funny because I can't think of a thing about Doug that bothers me like that. And even after we just celebrated our 17th.
Doug's the man, dude.
He is the man. We just celebrated our 17th wedding anniversary on Saturday.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And honestly, like even after 17 years of marriage, he doesn't do anything that like grosses me out. He's like, I don't know. I just find him very attractive.
Me neither. He's such a dreamboat, this guy.
But he is very funny about, not about me, but about other people that like his number one thing that drives him nuts. And his brother has it too. And I think it's called mesothelioma, not like the lung disease you get, but I may be saying it wrong.
It's like having sex with dead people.
No, it's where you can't stand the sound of somebody chewing. It drives him
I was way off.
Insane. Yeah. Mesothelioma is like the lung disease, and this is mesothelioma. I gotta look it up.
But he doesn't like hearing people
misophonia. Thank you, Steve Krakauer.
Yeah.
Misophonia, right? Where it drives you nuts if you can really hear somebody chewing. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's somebody in the extended family who's like, every time you sit down with this person, they get a big bowl of raw carrots and start like downing it. And both brothers are like,
yeah, we can't deal with this. Yeah, Doug. Yeah, Doug's got his idiosyncrasies, which you got to put up with.
He does.
So are you a quiet chewer then?
I'm actually pretty quiet, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really kind of proud of it.
Yeah.
I have pretty good table manners.
That's good.
You'll see this with your new daughter. I mean, if that's something with your kids.
That I have to like bestow manners upon them.
You can never let up. It's like they don't hear, they don't listen. You could tell them 10,000 times and they still don't listen. You don't go to the food comes to you.
Yeah.
You know, like all the little things. And still, small bites.
Yeah.
And still you see your kid with like a mountain of food, shoving it in there.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I can't send you out into the world like this.
My parents never taught me table manners.
They didn't?
Never taught me. I learned table manners from the Titanic.
What?
You know this scene where like the
where Leonardo DiCaprio goes.
She's like the long go
Molly
from
Brown.
outside in with the forks. Like that's literally the moment. I remember I had a girlfriend. I was like in Denmark with like her family, and I was like using my thumb to shovel salad onto a fork. And the father like put his hand on my wrist and was like, please use the silverware.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, the humiliation.
Yeah. Some Viking.
I still have some questions, I have to say. I never took, any sort of manners classes, though I would love to get some for my kids. If somebody offered that, I would totally hire this person.
What is that called? Etiquette classes
like
or something?
Class?
Yeah, class. Yeah. This is what they do down south, right?
We were raised like wolves. That's why we don't have a lot of it.
I'm watching you. Whatever I see works. We ate out every meal or like had delivery.
Yes.
So there wasn't exactly like this big display.
I don't remember my parents ever correcting table manners. It's something I picked up on later in life when I got to be more of a professional person.
Yeah.
But I still have questions. Like, here's one question for the audience. Maybe they know. Maybe you know this. When you're eating soup,
do you go outside in or inside
no? That
out?
I know you're supposed to go from the front to the back. I know you're supposed to. You're supposed to scoop from the front to the back. It is stupid, but you're supposed to do it.
Extra motion. Like, why would you move the food further away from you this is this like pretentious like British shit where it's like really wealthy people have to find a way to make you feel insecure about you not having money. And then when everybody started wearing suits, it's like, all right, well, we got to belittle them somehow. Oh, if you see somebody moving the spoon out, then they really have money. I hate this shit. What I love about America is the lack of rules in that regard.
Yes.
Like we're not trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Well, here's my question on it, though. In addition to those, what do you do with the soup spoon when you are in the middle? You want to put it down, or when you're done? Does it go right back in the soup, or does it go on the little
I accidentally move it off the table and it falls and I go, oh God, and then somebody gets it.
That's not okay. No, it's either supposed to go right back in the soup, which is what I think you're supposed to do, or you're supposed to put it on the plate, like the saucer, underneath the soup, that plate that's holding the soup bowl.
Yes. But one of them signifies to the waiter that you're finished, and one signifies you're still eating.
With the soup, that's true too?
I just made that up.
Okay.
But it seems like it makes sense.
I do know what to do on the plate when you want to signify you're done.
Knife in between the fork.
Fork and knife at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Like one's at, well, I guess 10 of 5, at 10 of 5. So one's at the 10 and one's at the 5 on your plate.
Yeah.
That I got.
Yeah.
That's my one thing.
Isn't it crazy that we have to like speak in code to the waiters at the restaurant?
Right.
Like,
yo.
Yeah, that works, right?
I'm done.
Yeah. Nothing left on the plate.
Are you a good tipper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked in the service industry. So,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
If
you've
you've
been
ever
in the
done
game,
it, same.
Yeah.
I have to say, so I have
what is a good tip for you?
Well, I always leave 50%.
What?
50. Yeah. I always leave 50. But can I tell you something kind of surprising? You think, is it good or it's bad? It's good. Yeah, it's a lot, right?
I mean, they're not the government.
Well,
you don't have to
I always want to be overly generous to the waitstaff.
I mean, wow, that is.
I got to tell you something. I never, and I go to
women don't usually tip. I just want to point that out.
Oh,
that's not a big thing.
That one's important to me.
That is.
You will never read a report about me being a bad tipper.
I'm not going 50.
What do you go?
50? I go like 25 or something like that.
That's good.
I keep it round.
I got this from Sean Hannity, who tips 100%.
He does?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. He's going to hell.
I'm like, that's too much for me.
No, that's guilt.
But
something's going on. Something's going on.
No, he's a really generous guy.
He's harassing waitresses. Something's happening where he's paying them off. 100% is guilt. There's something wrong.
But I got to be honest with you.
He's taking, Sean is a great guy. You're not doing this.
He's not.
You're not at all. Where's my camera? You're not at all doing this. But I would tip 100% too if I was taking my girlfriend to the fucking thing and I didn't want anybody to know about it. But Sean would never do that, and that's not the case. And
not it.
Listen,
he does not need to stray. He's with Ainsley. He's good. Well, listen, I was going to say, I would kind of expect that when I go back to these same restaurants and have the same waiter, like maybe I'd get a little bit more white glove treatment.
Yeah.
I notice absolutely no white glove treatment. I don't think it really counts. So I just have to feel good about it in my heart, which I do.
Is not the reason why we do it.
Well, I mean, it would be nice if somebody was like, thanks for it. But
isn't it the worst when you're like at the bar and you're like, I'm going to fucking tip this bartender big. And you go to put the money down and they walk away. And now you got to just stand there until they come back and notice the tip. Because I need your recognition that I left that. Like, this needs to be very clear. You know?
My 13-year-old daughter just asked this question at the dinner table last night. This is where it's going for you. She said, is any act of charity ever for the other person? Or is it all
purely altruistic?
Isn't it all selfish?
I would like to believe that we are capable of altruism, but I think that there are like percentages of selfishness for sure. Mm-hmm. Like if you're doing it to get to heaven, that seems pretty selfish.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. And she was saying even just to make yourself feel good, there's an element of selfishness in it. And then my brother-in-law said, what if you threw yourself on a grenade? And she said, no, still. You're doing it like there's some piece of you that's doing it to feel good about saving somebody, or you might be like awarded the Medal of Honor if you're, like there's something in there.
She's 13?
Very cynical.
Fuck. Can I curse on this?
Yes,
is that cool? Okay. Yeah. Wow.
We couldn't have on Andrew Schulz if you could not curse.
That's a good point. Wow. That is a sophisticated thought for a 13-year-old.
You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is sinking, and you don't buy gold when the economy has already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hit all-time highs already this year. It's not too late for you, too. And you could have Birch Gold help you diversify into physical gold. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k in whole or in part into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. and for no money out of pocket. One recent 5-star review said Birch Gold was, quote, knowledgeable, helpful, non-pressure. Get your free info kit on gold by texting the letters MK to the number 989898. There is no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, text MK to 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.